Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Hope you guys are having a good Tuesday morning. Wanted to jump on here, talk a little recruiting. I saw an article from On3 a couple of weeks ago talking about the offensive line in the class of 2025. Said it was one of the deepest offensive line classes that we have seen in a long time. And the beautiful thing is Tennessee is in on a lot of these guys. You know, we've talked a lot about David Sanders, five-star offensive tackle. We've talked a lot about Jalen Matthews. Had him on the show. If you missed the interview with Jalen Matthews, go back and give it a watch. One thing is for sure, the guys that Josh Heupel is recruiting, the guys that Josh Heupel and his coaching staff are trying to get to Rocky Top, all well-spoken, respectful young men. That's something that's an ongoing theme that we continue to see. We've talked a lot about Juan Gaston, did a recent film breakdown. Rocky Top Tom came on the show, talked about his film. We've talked about Andrew Babalola, another five-star offensive tackle. Joey Halsley, Glenn Ellerby actually in home this past week visiting Andrew Babalola. But can Tennessee lock down two elite five-star offensive linemen in the class of 25? I'm starting to think they may be able to do it. Let's take a look at this. Came out on Twitter yesterday. Five-star offensive tackle Josh Petty is locked in 7 official visits for the summer, he tells Chad Simmons. You can see there Auburn, Tennessee, Oregon, and Florida State are among the programs Petty will visit. Now, the interesting thing about Josh Petty, again, a five-star offensive tackle, he grew up a Tennessee fan. One of the quotes that I saw from him said, growing up as a Tennessee fan, getting the offer from them was crazy. I'm not going to lie. I remember where I was at, everything about it. I remember every word of the conversation. I remember thinking this is crazy to get an offer from my dream school growing up. He goes on to say, as I got further into my recruitment, I knew I had to work past that and look at each school and know this is a business decision, but earning that offer was special for me. Now, something that kind of got concerning at one point, you know, he visited 3 times in 2023. He was in Knoxville in April. He was also in town over the summer for the 865 live event in May. He was in town for the Georgia game. Never got back to campus. Kind of got quiet. No visits this spring. There was a lot of buzz out there that Georgia was really pushing hard. We were starting to get concerned. I actually stopped talking about Josh Petty because I did not think he was a realistic option at that point. And then Austin Price takes to Twitter. This was back earlier in April. You can see Hayes Fawcett tweets out the graphic, says offers on the table thus far for five-star offensive tackle Josh Petty. Austin Price, quote, retweets it and says, grew up a Vol fan, don't count Tennessee out of this one just yet. Now, what does that mean? He later came back on VolQuest, AP did, and said lots of new dialogue between Josh Heupel and Josh Petty, family relationship there. I know that Josh Petty, one of the things I've seen is that he wants to go to the same college as his sister, but that dialogue, new dialogue, what does that mean? We can try to read between the lines and figure it out, but the bottom line is AP knows what he's talking about, and he says don't count Tennessee out. So do they have a shot? We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it, but I need you guys to do some of that quick YouTube stuff. Smash the thumbs up, subscribe, click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live, when we drop videos. Going to be live later tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, we play a little NCAA football, but we talk all things Tennessee football. If you've never been a part of one of those Tuesday night streams, come hang out, come join us for that. Always a good time. If it's your first time here, man, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We're not reporters. We don't pretend to be any of that. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. It's also fan-funded. If you like what we do, you're here every day for the videos, you like the live streams, the content, the community, whatever it is you like, you want to support this channel, think about hitting that join button over there. It's right beside subscribe. It's only $1 a month. You get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to fan call-in shows, a power T beside your name. I try to highlight your comments in the live chats, but you're supporting this channel, and we would greatly appreciate it. But if not, I totally understand. Let's hang out. Let's talk some Tennessee football because that's what this channel is all about. Let's go take a look at Josh Petty's profile. Again, a five-star offensive lineman. And I can't say it enough. How big would it be? We talk about Glenn Ellerby and, you know, how he missed on a couple of classes early in his time at Tennessee. The Francis Mauigoa class always sticks out to me, but now I think he's starting to build a pretty solid foundation, and I think this class of 25 is going to be crucial. He did a great job in the class of 24. You got to continue to build on that in the class of 25, but can you add elite guys, five-star talent? Lance Hurd, landing him in the transfer portal, you might as well consider that Glenn Ellerby signing a five-star prospect. That's what Lance Hurd is. But I think you've got a realistic shot at David Sanders. He's a guy that wants to play with George McIntyre. Coach Jay says it on the channel all the time. Offensive linemen want to play with elite quarterbacks, and George has those connections. He's got those relationships. David Sanders also has a really good relationship with Josh Petty. Those guys talk quite a bit. According to VolQuest, they wouldn't mind playing at the next level together. So can you take that relationship with George, blend it into David Sanders, blend it into Jalen Matthews, blend it into Josh Petty, and let's get an elite offensive line in here that's going to protect George McIntyre as we move ahead. Post-Nico era. You can see there on the screen, 6'4", 265 out of Georgia. On3's actually updated, lists him as an interior offensive lineman. I know for a long time he was listed as a tackle. Tennessee wants him to play guard, possibly center, and it's not just Tennessee. Seems to be a theme. All the other schools that I look at, it looks like they want Josh Petty to play on the inside, whether that be guard or center. 21st player in the country, 21 overall, number 2 ranked interior offensive lineman. So again, Josh Petty is an elite prospect. Let's go take a look at his highlights. I'll let you guys tell me what you think of the film. And then I'm going to go through a scouting report. This is from Gabe Brooks over at 247 Sports. One thing right out of the gate, high IQ kid. Great grade point average. Again, well-spoken. Seems to be a mold here that Josh Heupel is creating. We talk about the culture and guys that fit. I think Josh Petty is a guy that would fit. But here's the scouting report. Again, 247 Sports, high-level offensive tackle prospect who could legitimately project as a Power 5 defensive lineman as well. I think Jalen Matthews is another guy that could play on either side of the line of scrimmage. Size, length are unverified, but looks the part on the hoof. Relatively lean with ample frame for space to add mass. Full-time two-way snaps that impress on both sides of the ball. Quicker off the ball on offense than defense, but flashes surprising linear closing speed and pursuit. Georgia 2A state champion wrestler. You know, I love that, especially on the offensive line. Wrestling prowess translates into body control and hand-to-hand combat strength. Can get punchier, but plays angry and finishes blocks. Again, that's something we've seen with David Sanders, with Jalen Matthews, with Juan Gaston. Intelligent, well-spoken, respectful kids off the field. They got that nastiness to them. They got that dog in them on the field. Says mean streak is obvious. Motivated drive blocker who also climbs to the second level with relative ease. Very young for the 2025 cycle, naturally high center of gravity, but cognizant of leverage, firing off and engaging defenders. Says he needs more consistent measure of pass pro ability, but functional athleticism suggests ample potential. Will face significant jump in competition, going from lower level high school ball to the high major level. But consistent dominance on multiple positions is promising. Ideally, verified information data will become available by spring 2024. Athletic profile and on-field evidence suggest immense development potential. Even without full catalog of data, could become a multi-year starter at the high major level with NFL draft early round upside, especially if the measurements check out. So that's the scouting report on Josh Petty. Again, you pair Josh Petty with David Sanders, with Jalen Matthews, and then you got George slinging the rock around. I think the future looks bright on Rocky Top, and again, the pool is deep. Here's a quote to On3 as he nears a decision. What he's looking for, he says, who makes me feel like a priority, who will separate one school, that will separate one school for me. You can tell if a school wants you on how they talk to you, and I will go where I am cared about. It's about the little things for me now. These visits will show me a lot about the people in the education. Those things mean a lot to my future. So he's got official visits coming up. That's what the article from On3 was about. He'll visit Georgia Tech, Clemson, Auburn. He'll be at Tennessee on June the 7th, and then visit Stanford, Oregon, and Florida State. Also talking to Georgia, LSU, Notre Dame, Penn State, and Texas. But the big thing is Tennessee getting the official visit, right? Because of the way he visited 3 times in 2023. Then he kind of goes quiet, but then he's back on campus coming up in June. I think that is huge for Josh Heupel, Glenn Ellerby to have an opportunity to see if they can get this thing done. Wants to make a decision before the start of his senior season coming up this fall. Steve Wiltfong earlier this month said he's interested in several programs, Stanford being one of them. Oregon is in the mix. Tennessee is heavy in this one. He has some family ties to being Vols fans. There are certainly some family fans of Georgia. Clemson has been a mainstay in this recruitment for a while. So Tennessee definitely has a shot. The official visit, I think this is huge. This is an opportunity for Tennessee, especially after things kind of went quiet there. But what do you guys think? Jump into the comment section. Let me know. As always, smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. I would greatly appreciate it. Hope to see you tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. NCAA night. Going to be a blast as always. I love Tuesday nights hanging out with the members of the Talkin VAWLS family. You can also go check out the merchandise, bonfire.com. talking balls. All the links to everything, to joining the channel, to buying the merch, everything is in the description just below this video. Appreciate the way you guys support this channel, man. Could not do it without you. I am grateful. Hopefully we can get this office back in order sooner rather than later. Life is a bit chaotic, but we got to jump on here and talk Tennessee football because this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.